Hello everyone, today I want to show you how to make this heart chain Kumihimo braid, and this is what mine looks like here. So it's the regular heart pattern Kumihimo braid, but then I've replaced one of the cords that would make the hearts with chain instead, and then it can look like this. So it gives a really nice effect, you can see. It gives a really nice elegance to the piece, and the back looks like this. So it's nice and flat even with the chain as well. Then I just turned it into a bracelet. So if you want to learn how to make this braid with the chain, then keep watching. So these are the materials that we'll need to make this bracelet. Now to make this braid, first of all we need our round Kumihimo disc here, and then we'll need some cord. And now this is a 1mm satin cord, and I just got this really nice burgundy colour. It's going to match nicely with the colour of the chain. And as for the chain, this is like a rose gold chain that I'm using, and the specific measurement for this is 3 by 2mm in the links here. But this is just what I'm using. It doesn't have to be specifically that. You can use whatever chain you have at hand, as long as it is somewhat fine. Obviously you don't want too chunky of a chain. So let's get it all together and let's get started. So then we need to get both the cord and the chain ready to work with. And what I have here is 5 lengths of my satin cord of about 1 meter each. And then I also have a length of my chain here, also 1 meter. Then what I've done is put all your cord and your chain together at the ends there. Then we need to fold them over in half, so put all the ends together again. And then we find roughly where the middle is here. And I've just tied a regular overhand knot to keep them all together. And then also this symbolises the middle, and I've just taken a piece of scrap wire, tied it around to help pull it down through the disc. So I've then taken all my cords and my chain here and attached it to my disc. So all I've done is I've taken the knot in the middle of them all, put it down through the centre of the disc there in the hole. Then I have my length of wire sticking out of the back. You can also use a Kumihimo weight if you prefer that. It's going to help you pull it through as you're making the braid. And then we need to distribute all the cords and the chain in this way. So what I've done is I don't focus on the numbers here. I'm just focusing on the dots really more as a guideline as to where to place them. So I have 4 lengths of my cord around the top dot there, 2 on each side, evenly spread out. Then I have 2 on each side, so 1 on each side of the dot on both sides as well. And then on the bottom here, we had the 2 lengths of chain in the middle, right by the dot, 1 on each side, and then the outside ones here are then the cord again. So this is how you want to place the cords and the chain on your disc to achieve the pattern that we want. And then now to start making the braid. So the way that we're going to do that is we need to start from the top. So I'm going to take the top right one, the one that's right next to the dot, so not the outer one, but the one in from that, just to the right of the dot. Bring that from the right side of the dot over towards the left side of the disc, below the pair on the side here. So just in the slot below that. Then I'm going to take the one on the left side of the dot, just to the left of the dot. So we're basically making a little gap here in the middle. From the left side of the dot over towards the right side of the disc. Just like that, again below the pair on the right side there. So that's the first ones. Then we need to take the same ones down here, which then are the chain, that's the chain ones, and do the same thing just from the bottom. So I take the length of chain just to the right of that dot on the bottom, bring it over towards the left, but now above the pair on the left side there. And then same thing, I then take the chain just to the left of the dot and then bring it over towards the right, and again above the others on the side. So there we go. Then I want to just reposition these, because you can see we have a big gap here on both sides. Bring them one step in closer towards the dot to close it up. So just in one slot with each of these cords, just like that, so they're straight up and down. Then I need to then take from the side here, and now take the top one of the 2 right next to the dot. So the one right above the dot here comes downwards towards the bottom of the disc and stays on the same side. So from the left top one there, stays to the left of the bottom pair. Then I take the one just below the dot and bring it up and stay on the left side as well. Then I do the same on the other side. On the right side here, the one just above the dot comes down, stays on the right side. The one just below the dot goes up. So kind of almost always think in opposites. Then again, you can see on the side we now have these gaps. What we then need to do is do the same principle as before. Take one at a time, move it one step inwards closer towards the dot there, just to close up that gap. There we go. So that's basically one full go around now. So all we need to do now is keep repeating this. So I'm just going to go through and show you again. So you kind of can say, because all you can say is everything is the original position now as well, except the chain has moved place, but it's the original kind of position of where everything is placed. But they're going to keep moving throughout, but then eventually they'll come back down the original position again, and that's how we then keep repeating the same thing. So just think, to start out with, we always start with the ones that are right next to the dot. So I take the top right one, bring it over towards the left, below the ones on the side. Then I take the top left one, bring it over to the right, below the ones on the side. Then the same thing, the bottom ones, the one to the right of the dot, bring it up on the left side there, above the other ones, and then the one to the left of the dot goes over to the right side, above the ones on the side. Then we need to just close up the gap on both the top and the bottom ones, just like that. And then we get to the side. So in this case, this is now where the chain is, but whether you're using the cord or the chain, it's the exact same principle. I then take the chain, in this case just above the dot, and what I like to do when I'm moving the chain, I like to just kind of bring it to the middle and lift it up a little bit. I'm not pulling hard, it's just to make sure that the chain kind of settles in place in there in the braid, so it doesn't stick out too far, because obviously the chain is a bit more rigid than the cord itself. So just to get it to sit in the right position, bring that down, stay on the left side there, the bottom pair, take the one just below the dot, bring it up, stay on the left side of the top pair. Then we can close up this one. You can either do it straight away, you can do that after you've done both sides. That's up to you, and depending what rhythm you get. Take the chain, in this case, the one just above the dot, just kind of maneuver it inwards there to make sure it doesn't just come out too far and you're going to end up with maybe a bit of loose chain. Bring it down, stay on the right side of the bottom. The one below the dot goes up and stays on the right side of the top. And then we close up this one. So there we go. That's another full go around. And then you can keep going like this, and you'll be able to see the chain goes into the middle of the bottom one here again the next time around, so they'll be back in the original starting position. And then that's how we're going to achieve the pattern in the braid that we want. So just keep going like this until you used up all the lengths of cord and the chain. So now that I kept braiding here in the exact same way, and I'm running out of my cord and the chain as well, then what we need to do now is take this off the disc so we can then finish off the braid. And to do that, all I'm going to do is just grab hold of the braid right below here where we're building it, so where the braid is ending, and then I'm going to release all my cords, and I've just grabbed hold of that just to make sure that when I'm releasing the cords here that the braid itself isn't going to come undone. So just take all the cords off the disc, and obviously the chain as well, just like this. Remove the disc, and then just to secure the end, we're going to finish off the ends, but just while we're working with it still, just to secure it, I want to just tie a regular overhand knot. It's just to make sure the end of the braid here doesn't come undone while we keep working with it. Get all the lengths through. So there we go, and just tie a knot down here. And just tie a knot and then pull on your cords a bit one at a time. It helps tighten it up. It's not too crucial how this knot is because it's going to get cut off anyway. It's just literally to hold it in place and secure it. So here we go. This is then the finished braid. So on one side here we then have this hat design with the chain. So you have all these little hats running up. But instead of using cord, where we normally would to create this pattern, I've just replaced that cord with chain. And then we get this look, and it gives a really nice effect. Much different than if you're using cord. On the back it looks like this, so you can see it's different. This is more flat, this has got a little bit of a rounded surface to it, where this is kind of more flat. Obviously you can use whatever side you want to, but the main pattern really is for this side. Then what I'm going to do now is finish off the ends. You obviously want to measure how long you need of the braid. So just take a measuring tape, measure the length you need, and then we need to finish it off. You can cut through it. Make sure that with a chain you obviously use some wire cutters and not a scissor, because you're going to ruin the scissors. But then cut down the ends. I've already got a tutorial that shows how to finish off the ends of your Kumihimo braids here, so I'm going to put a link to that in the description box below. But I'm going to use these ribbon ends, these specific ones, with these materials that I've used for this braid at 8mm in the width, and they're going to fit perfectly for the width of the braid itself. So I'm going to use that, and like I said, that tutorial is going to be in the description box if you're not too familiar with how to do that. And obviously take into account with the length as well, the clasp that you want to add. So finish it off and then I'll show you how it looks. So I've now finished the ends of the braid here with my ribbon ends, and then also attached my extended chain and my clasp with some jump rings, and then this is what it looks like. So it's a really nice and simple looking bracelet, I think, but it still has a nice impact because that chain really makes a difference. It almost adds a little bit of elegance to it, I think. And then you just use your clasp, obviously, and you have your finished bracelet. So this is what it looks like. So quite an easy one to do. Technique, you're just swapping out some materials than what you would normally do, so using the chain there instead of some cord. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching. Hello there everyone. Today I want to show you how to make this basic Kumihimo bracelet but incorporating chain into the design. And this is what it looks like. So this is just a basic 8-strand Kumihimo braid, but I've replaced some of the cords with chain. This is quite a fine chain. So this is the effect that you can get. I think it's quite nice on its own. So you get a nice pattern on it, and then that chain just gives an extra twist to it than a regular braid. So you can obviously use it like